My wife gave her lover 5x my bonus at the company party. The night before the annual company gala, my wife promised Meher, star attorney, a special surprise. Instead, she publicly gave the marketing director 5 times the bonus I received. Her only words to me: keep up the good work next year. When I questioned this in front of everyone, she brushed me off with a condescending smile. Yes, you win cases, Marcus. But without Dylan's marketing genius, you wouldn't be our firm's golden boy. Besides, we're married. What's mine is yours. Why are you making such a fuss over money? Everyone waited for me to explode. But I stayed silent through the entire event. The next morning, I placed my resignation letter on her desk. Give him my salary too. Consider it my wedding gift to you both. She called me petty and vindictive, said I'd never find another job. But she forgot experienced attorneys like me? We're hunted by every major firm in the city. Chapter 1. I'm done talking about this. Victoria slammed her purse on the couch, her face a mask of cold indifference. I rubbed my temples, exhausted beyond measure. We'd been arguing since we left the office about the firm's annual gala, about her blatant favoritism, about her inexplicable need to elevate Dylan Morrison, a junior associate who'd been with us less than 6 months. Victoria acted like I was being petty and jealous over small change. Neither of us would back down. The air between us grew arctic. Her phone chimed with a text. She glanced at it, irritation flashing across her features. Emergency at the firm. I need to handle some clients, she said, not meeting my eyes. Marcus, I don't want to fight about this anymore. Just, be better. And don't forget to email me the case analysis for tomorrow's hearing. You keep acting like this, so small and petty about money after 5 years of marriage, it's disappointing. I'm petty. I felt drained. Victoria always deflected during arguments, never addressing the real issue. Every time Dylan's name came up, she suddenly had urgent business. Her favorite defense? We're married, I shouldn't care about trivial things like fairness. For the next 30 minutes, I said nothing. Victoria complained about being sweaty from the office, taking her time showering and changing. The silence between us was deafening. Vic. I was about to break the ice when I caught something that stopped me cold. Victoria was secretly stuffing something into her suit pocket. Moving closer. I saw it clearly: black stockings. The words died in my throat. My chest tightened. Her behavior over the past 6 months suddenly made sense. The constant business trips, the late-night client meetings, her growing impatience with me. We hadn't been intimate in months. The realization hit like ice water: she was having an affair. I almost confronted her but stopped. I swallowed my rage. Maybe this was my out. Our marriage had been dead for months anyway. I quietly retreated to the living room, waiting. Victoria emerged minutes later, slightly flushed. Marcus, did you call me? I looked up with practiced confusion. No. Relief washed over her face before it hardened again. I'm heading to the firm. We'll discuss the bonus situation when I get back. Might not make it home tonight. She left without waiting for a response. I counted to 5, then grabbed my keys and followed. Victoria's car never headed toward our law firm. In the Uber, I laughed bitterly. Her car stopped at the Ritz-Carlton downtown. I couldn't follow her inside, but I could access her Tesla's dashcam. The playback revealed everything. She'd called someone from the car, her voice dripping honey. Baby? Dylan? Are you there yet? I'm almost there. Marcus is being impossible. I don't know what's gotten into him lately, always picking fights. My blood boiled. Dylan Morrison. He doesn't appreciate who made him successful. Fighting with me over bonuses? He's lost his mind. I need your kisses to make it better. No wonder Dylan got the massive bonus, the best cases, the fast-track promotion. He was getting overtime benefits. Victoria, how could you? 6 months ago, Dylan had joined our firm, a mystery hire with mediocre credentials who somehow became a team lead immediately. Victoria lavished him with premium cases and resources, causing resentment among senior associates. Within 6 months, he'd risen to marketing director. I'd had suspicions then. Victoria's attention to his needs was obsessive. At firm dinners, I rarely sat beside my own wife. Dylan was always at her right hand. When I'd objected, she'd said he was her college junior, that mentoring was the right thing to do. Every business trip and client dinner over the past 6 months she'd been with him. I returned home in a daze. Slumped on the couch, I rubbed my face. Suspicion and confirmation felt different. I genuinely loved Victoria. Seeing it, hearing it still hurt. The TV droned about some local murder case. I couldn't focus. Eventually, I passed out on the couch. My dreams were full of memories. We'd met as young attorneys. I'd been drawn to Victoria's sharp mind and fierce ambition. After relentless pursuit, she'd opened her own firm for me. I was grateful for the opportunity. I'd worked myself to the bone, winning case after case, building our reputation. When I proposed, both families were thrilled. 6 years later, the firm had grown into a powerhouse. But before our 7th anniversary, she'd already betrayed me. Dreams tormented me all night. I overslept. Victoria publicly humiliated me at the morning meeting. Marcus. What's wrong with you? One argument and you're late. Your perfect attendance bonus is gone. Think about your behavior. Facing everyone's pitying or indifferent stares, I simply nodded. Victoria interpreted my silence as disrespect. After everyone left, she cornered me. In her office. Marcus, don't bring your home attitude to work. You think being my husband means you can disrespect me publicly? I've always kept personal and professional separate. Personal and professional separate. I rolled those words around my mind, finding them hilarious. Separate for me. Last night she'd called Dylan baby in the car, cooing sweet nothings. My indifference enraged her further. She slammed her desk. Marcus. What are you trying to pull? Have you lost your mind? Ignoring her tantrum, I walked out and went straight to HR. Marcus, you're sure about resigning? Positive. HR was shocked, questioning me repeatedly. Though we'd never publicized our marriage, everyone had figured it out over the years. HR clearly didn't want to get involved in our domestic dispute. This is significant. I can't approve this alone. Maybe you should discuss it with Victoria first. Given my position as a senior partner, Victoria's signature was technically required. No need to ask, Janet. Just process it officially. I spoke firmly. This wasn't an impulsive decision. Janet studied me for a long moment, then reluctantly agreed, telling me to return that afternoon for the paperwork. Leaving HR, I was immediately summoned back to Victoria's office. Dylan was there too, smirking at my arrival. Hey, Marcus. Perfect timing. Remember that murder case on the news? The woman who killed for revenge? It's ours now. Dylan secured it for you. Do well, and you'll make headlines. Victoria's condescension was palpable as she assigned me this honor, defending the accused murderer from last night's news. I'd reviewed the case that morning. Social media had turned it into a circus. Victoria was right, handle it well, and I'd be famous. But I recognized Dylan's trap. This case was radioactive. No matter how I defended it, I'd be vilified. Legal technicalities versus public sympathy, a no-win situation that would taint my career. I declined immediately. Too many active cases. Can't take on more. Find someone else. Marcus Stone, the great attorney, too good for this case now. Made a name for yourself and now you're above it all? Opportunities pass by those who don't seize them. Victoria's voice dripped contempt. Dylan jumped in with fake concern. Marcus. This case could really help the firm. Maybe reconsider. Think about Victoria's vision for our future. Since I fought to get this case, someone needs to take it. You're the most qualified, Marcus. I frowned at his manipulation. Before I could respond, Victoria's phone rang. Hello? Janet? What? Someone's resigning? Who? Victoria froze, then stared at me in disbelief. Marcus, you're resigning? Because I criticized you this morning? She shot to her feet, fury radiating from every pore. I leaned against her desk, calmly meeting her gaze. Victoria, I'm not just resigning. I want a divorce. She went completely still. Marcus, you want a divorce over yesterday's bonus and this morning? How can you be so petty? She instinctively stepped back as I held her gaze. Dylan's face flashed with poorly concealed joy before he feigned concern. Marcus, come on. Don't be rash. Look, I'll give you my bonus money. Don't let this come between you and Victoria. Divorce isn't something you decide lightly. His words made Victoria compare us instantly. Marcus, aren't you embarrassed? Making someone junior to you offer their money? All these years in practice and you're less mature than him. Still throwing tantrums like a child? Dylan's eyes gleamed with triumph, but I felt only cold detachment. Save it, Victoria. This is pointless. The resignation and divorce are final. Victoria closed her eyes, fighting for control. Fine. Fine. Marcus, you want to play hardball? I'll reverse yesterday's bonus decision. Give you a promotion next year. Happy now? Isn't that what you wanted? I don't want bonuses or promotions. Let me be clear one last time, Victoria, I am resigning, and I'm divorcing you. My anger finally showed as I slammed the desk, making her jump. After this back and forth, Victoria's patience snapped. She stared at me for a long moment, then pointed at the door. Marcus. Stop being such a drama queen. Fine. Leave. The firm. We'll survive without you. What makes you think you're irreplaceable? Exactly what I wanted to hear. Without another word, I left to clear out my office. Victoria stood in my doorway in her designer heels, breathing heavily, shocked by my follow-through. Colleagues whispered as I packed. Is Marcus really leaving? Must be about yesterday's bonus. He was upset. They fought this morning too. Aren't they married? Think they'll divorce? Maybe it's about Dylan, he's always hovering around Victoria. I smiled bitterly. Even they could see Victoria and Dylan's inappropriate relationship. Everyone suspected why I was leaving, yet Victoria still thought I was throwing a tantrum. I carried my box out past Victoria's furious glare, never looking back. At home, I left the divorce papers on the coffee table and grabbed my pre-packed suitcase. 6 years. I'd given Victoria everything, never betrayed her trust. After last night's revelation, I felt nothing. I took one last look at our home and closed the door. With nowhere else to go, I crashed at my friend Jake's place. Buddy. Finally. Let's get wasted. Jake and his wife welcomed me warmly. After hearing the whole story, he was furious on my behalf. But Victoria wasn't done. She called that evening, immediately accusatory. Marcus. What's the meaning of these divorce papers? Exactly what they say. I kept it brief, seeing no point in elaborating. Victoria wasn't satisfied. Is this how you handle things? I've spoiled you. First the resignation, now divorce papers. What's your game? She launched into a tirade. Have I not been good enough? I've provided everything: lifestyle, comfort, security. And you're leaving over money? Ridiculous. You think your success these past years means you can threaten me? Marcus, come back now and I might forgive this tantrum. Otherwise. No. Her words gave me a migraine. I cut her off. Victoria spoke like she'd done me some huge favor, forgetting who'd built the firm's reputation. When we'd started, I'd worked countless cases, won impossible battles, built our client base. When cash flow was tight, I'd drunk myself sick at networking events to secure funding. Yes, she'd given me the opportunity. But the firm's success? That was my blood, sweat, and tears. She'd forgotten our beginning. Victoria, we both know why I'm divorcing you. What? She still thought this was about work grievances. I laughed bitterly. Victoria, I know everything. Let's keep some dignity. Ever since Dylan arrived, all those business trips, those late-night client meetings, we both know where you really were. Should I name the hotel? I don't know what you mean. Her voice wavered but remained stubborn. She'd forgotten I was a lawyer. I don't make accusations without evidence. Last night. Ritz-Carlton. 23rd floor. Need more details? You called him baby on the phone. Want me to continue? Silence. I sighed, exhausted by the charade. Sign the papers, Victoria. We're done. After an eternity, she spoke with forced calm. Marcus, you're unemployed and divorced now. You're 35. Who's going to hire you? Everyone wants young talent. Right. Like you wanted young Dylan. I laughed coldly and hung up. Jake had heard everything. His anger matching mine. What's wrong with her? She wasn't like this when you married. This is outrageous. I calmed him down and went to bed. Late that night, Victoria texted. City Hall. Tomorrow. Chapter 2. Victoria showed up at City Hall dressed to kill. Despite her perfect makeup, I could see the dark circles. I didn't care how she'd spent her night. We entered without a word. The process was smooth. We had our divorce decree that afternoon. Victoria looked dazed, not relieved or disgusted as I'd expected, but lost. I didn't care about her sudden doubts. Maybe she was finally done with me, or maybe she'd spent the night with Dylan. Either way, we were finished. As I left, Dylan naturally showed up to collect her. He wore an expensive suit, looking like he was picking up his bride. Seeing our divorce finalized, he dropped all pretense, smirking triumphantly. Marcus, you'll regret losing Victoria. I didn't waste words on him. Victoria's expression was unreadable. She started to call out, but I walked away without looking back. Marcus? Marcus Stone, is that you? I'd barely left City Hall when someone stopped me. Recognition dawned. Robert Fitzgerald. Robert Fitzgerald, managing partner of Fitzgerald Zeta Associates, the city's most prestigious firm. He shook my hand enthusiastically. It really is you, Robert. I was puzzled but shook hands politely. We exchanged pleasantries before he steered me to a nearby restaurant. Sorry for the ambush, but when I heard you'd resigned, I had to move fast. Robert poured me a drink, refreshingly direct. Robert, this is. I accepted the glass, already guessing his intentions. Let's skip the dance, Marcus. I'm here to recruit you. Victoria doesn't recognize talent when she has it. I smiled wryly. Victoria wasn't trained in law. She opened the firm for me. I was grateful, and I'd repaid that debt. No regrets. This past 6 months, as Dylan's influence grew, Victoria increasingly saw me as redundant. She had no idea how sought after I was. In law, experience is everything. Robert and I quickly negotiated terms. I signed that day, agreeing on a start date. I left Jake's place, rented my own apartment, and started my sabbatical. For the first time in years, I had time for myself, regular hours, rediscovered hobbies, peace. Then Victoria called from an unknown number. After a long pause, Marcus, could you come back for one case? What? Her midnight call puzzled me. Victoria continued reluctantly. Remember that revenge murder case you declined? It went badly. I listened as she explained. Dylan had taken the case and botched it completely. Cold, procedural, tone deaf. His client was convicted. The trial video went viral. Public opinion exploded. Dylan was labeled heartless, money-grubbing, incompetent. The firm's social media was under siege. The client appealed. Victoria needed damage control. She'd approached other attorneys. None would touch it. She'd finally come to me. That's the situation. The PR disaster is beyond fixing. Come back to the firm, and we'll forget the past. She spoke like she was doing me a favor, her request sounding more like charity. No. I declined flatly. Whether it was the firm or her offers, I wasn't interested. Think carefully, Marcus. I've spoken to every major firm in the city. No one will hire you unless you want to relocate. Victoria's threat was barely veiled. Will you abandon your network and connections here? Don't destroy your career over pride. I laughed. At her attempted blackmail. Really? You contacted everyone? Then what about the contract I signed with Robert last week? I double-checked my contract, amused. Robert? Which Robert? She didn't even know who he was. Robert Fitzgerald. I named the city's most prominent legal name. Robert Fitzgerald? Victoria's voice cracked. I was done with this conversation. Victoria, I won't help. Find someone else. Your firm isn't my concern anymore. Neither are you. Don't contact me again. My life settled into peaceful routine until my start date approached. Walking into Robert's office for orientation, I found Victoria there. Robert. This is unethical. We all agreed at dinner collective boycott. Of Marcus Stone. You shook hands on it, then poached him behind our backs. Victoria leaned on his desk, furious. Robert sipped his tea leisurely. Oh, Victoria. Dinner talk isn't binding. Everyone wants talent. Marcus is proven excellence. If I hadn't hired him, someone else would have. Victoria breathed deeply, controlling her anger. But only you broke ranks. Robert's expression cooled. That's rich. Victoria, you're new money talking like that to established firms. We humored you because your firm showed promise. But blocking careers over personal drama? That's just petty. Victoria's face went through several shades, clearly struggling with rage. Robert saw me and brightened immediately. Marcus. Welcome. Victoria, see what you lost? Such a talented young man. Victoria spun around, seeing me, and immediately tried to explain. Marcus? When did you? Did you hear? I can explain. I didn't mean. I just wanted you back. It was just dinner talk. I laughed coldly. Everyone at that dinner knew her implications. They'd played along, not actively recruiting me. How many were sincere versus just humoring her, only sending me offers would reveal. But I wondered, why did Victoria only want me after I left? She hesitated before answering. Because after you left, the other attorneys wouldn't listen. I had no one to help. The firm's struggling. That case made everything worse. Marcus, I need you. The firm needs you. So you only want me when you need me. I nodded with bitter understanding. Victoria rushed to explain. And I missed you. Dylan was just entertainment. I know I was wrong. I'll make it up to you, Marcus. Name your terms. I wanted to laugh at the absurdity. The firm's senior partners were all people I'd recruited and trained. Of course they rebelled when I left. Dylan, with his limited experience, couldn't lead them. His unearned position through Victoria's favoritism, none of those Ivy League graduates would respect him. Marcus, stop being so stubborn. No matter what Victoria offered, I refused. Save it for Dylan. Leave me alone. I stood to leave. Robert had conveniently disappeared downstairs. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. Marcus, 6 years together. 5 years of marriage. Don't you still? No. I cut her off. Tears rolled down her face as she fled. That evening, Dylan called. Marcus. You're divorced. Why are you still bothering Victoria? Can't let go? Dylan's shouting was deafening, a rapid-fire assault. What kind of man plays these games? Hard to get? You're pathetic. I held the phone away from my ear. Dylan. Stop. After his rant, Victoria's voice stopped him. I heard the phone hit the floor, then their argument. Victoria, was I wrong? After how he treated you, what's there to miss? You're divorced. Dylan's roar came through clearly. I was surprised they were fighting over me. None of your business. You don't get to mention Marcus. Know your place, your job, and stop overstepping. Victoria's voice was ice. Dylan couldn't believe his diminished status. Victoria. You're defending him. You used to complain about him, said when you got bored you'd be with me. Those promises. Obviously lies. You believe them? Victoria cut him off coldly. Dylan exploded, then what am I? Boy. Toy. Side piece. What else? Their fight escalated until Dylan stormed out, warning she'd regret this. Victoria dismissed him. Minutes later, she retrieved the phone. Marcus, are you there? Yes. I'd enjoyed their dogfight. Victoria thought I was giving her another chance. See? I've cut Dylan off. Please come back. I really am sorry. I remained unmoved. Victoria, how many times must I say it? No. We're divorced. I'm never coming back. You're that cold? 6 years means nothing. To her tearful accusation, I responded emotionlessly, you realized too late. The moment you cheated, forgiveness became impossible. I hung up, blocked all their numbers, and focused on my new career. Work progressed smoothly. I won several cases. Robert mentioned promotion next year. Life found its rhythm again. Until the police called. Victoria wanted me as her defense attorney. Through the authorities, I learned what happened. After our last fight, Victoria and Dylan reconciled, apologized, and they'd reunited. Over the following months, her firm hemorrhaged money. The senior attorney's exodus accelerated the decline. The murder case fallout snowballed, pushing her firm toward bankruptcy. Victoria endured enormous pressure, becoming gaunt and exhausted. During this crisis, Dylan betrayed her again. She caught him embezzling firm assets, preparing to run. Seeing his true nature, Victoria snapped. They fought violently. In the heat of the moment, Victoria grabbed scissors and stabbed Dylan in the chest. It happened too fast. By the time employees called 911, Dylan was bleeding out. He died despite emergency treatment. Victoria was arrested. Only when Dylan's wife sued did Victoria learn he'd been married all along. Regret consumed her. She thought of me. Marcus. For old time's sake, help me. Just argue self-defense or excessive force. Not premeditated murder. In court, facing Victoria's desperate hope, I remembered her pre-trial pleas. I looked away, reviewing my notes. I remained professionally detached but argued for leniency. This gave her false hope. She tried repeatedly to talk, met only with cold professionalism. I maintained my principles. I couldn't abandon her completely. But I wouldn't pervert justice for her wishes. The security footage showed her as the aggressor. I lost the case. Victoria faced serious prison time. Only then did she understand. In front of everyone, she begged again. Haggard, unkempt, broken, she watched me pack up and cried out. Marcus, where are you going? Don't leave. Please. I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Please don't go. I'll never again. She tried to follow but was restrained by officers. Her struggles led to forced restraint. She couldn't reach me. I didn't need her apologies. I walked away purposefully. Work awaited. Plants needed watering. This was just another case. Time to forget the past and embrace the future. The end.